Alrighty, welcome to Garage Talk with Friends. This is our 20th episode. I am sitting here with Chris at the moment, and we'll see if anybody else pops in here or not. But as it is right now, this is what we got. And I wanted to bring this to you guys via Streamlabs, but it just didn't work. If you were happened to pop in here earlier when we had the test going on, you would have seen that it was horrible. Computer didn't like it. Something didn't jive. It was just all choppy, and my frame rate was down to like 9, sometimes down as low as 1. It was horrible. So we'll stick to the old way of doing things for now. I'll explain some of the cool features in Streamlabs if I can get it to work. For my setup, I'm running like an 8-9-year-old laptop, and I don't think it wants to work well with it. So we'll see. In fact, I just got a notification up here. Hangouts on Air is going away later this year for quick streaming. Try youtube.com webcam. Yeah, that works if I just want to stream myself. But, you know, because I want to stream me with my friends, that's not going to quite work for me.
You'll get there, buddy. You'll find something that's going to click for everything you got going on, and then no worries.
Yeah. So let's see, where are we at anyway? Oh, 20th episode.
It doesn't seem possible.
No, it seems possible. It just doesn't seem like it's been that short.
And it still seems like, you know, yesterday almost, or last week when you started the show. You know, and you're even with a couple weeks you took off, and you're into your 20th episode.
Yeah, I only took off twice, I think, since I started, and that was once was Father's Day
and Father's Day.
Was it Mother's Day? Was the other one? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the other Mother's Day. No,
Mother's Day I was here.
Actually, you did Mother's Day. You did Mother's Day late because you were coming home from Philly.
Right. So I did Mother's Day late.
There was one. Oh, you've only missed 2 shows.
No, yeah, there was one where I just wasn't doing well that day.
Right.
So that's the only other time that I missed anything. Sorry, I'm trying to find Jonathan here.
Gotta be much easier ways to do this, but.
Well, this is the easiest. The problem is that they're getting rid of it. And so I'm sitting here scrambling, trying to find a new way of doing it. Oh. I also need to
get it configured.
Yeah, I'll get it figured out eventually.
Yeah, earlier was earlier was fun.
What?
Earlier was fun.
What, when I was trying to get the other shit to work?
Yeah. Like I said, that one screen you showed me on your computer when you went hyperspace, it just kind of bounced away from the end of your computer screen. It was pretty wild.
Well, and that's because how that works is literally you're seeing the delay, and then it's like a mirror. It's showing itself. Well, it was also delaying, so it was stretching into it.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me that I'm screwed later because the way that I've been doing things is no longer going to work. See, I'm a dinosaur. No snickering back there. I am a dinosaur because the way that I've always done things, like I've been here on YouTube since before, you know, Google Analytics. I've been on YouTube since before watch time was a big deal. You know, when I started YouTube, all they gave a shit about was how many views you got, and that was it. They didn't care how many subscribers you had. They didn't care how many watch minutes you had. They didn't care about any of that. None of that mattered. All that mattered was how many views you got. And like I say, when I started Google Hangouts and this stuff, this was how you did it. You know, and now all of this stuff is going away. So we're gonna have to.
Everything's going to mediums where they want to try to charge you for this or charge you for that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like even Streamlabs their basic stuff is free, but you know, you start getting into it, you end up starting to pay for things.
Yeah. Which is okay. I mean, you can see why with the the software development and the other stuff they do, and then all the technology and hardware that they got in to make each of their different services operational. But
well, yeah, I mean, it is a big deal. Don't mind me. I'm sitting here just trying to get more people to pop up to chat with. So
yeah, I mean, that's like right there by the house. They're building a data center for Facebook. Like, I don't know, maybe 6 miles away, maybe. I mean, originally it started out, it was going to be one building, and they've been working on the complex for years. They've now got 4 buildings built, and now they're in the planning stages of tunneling underneath the main highway and building across the road, too.
Oh, my God.
So there's no telling. I mean, and I'm talking like major warehouse style. I mean, I can't even describe the size. It's like some of the warehousing they built there outside of Allentown, there alongside 78, where it used to be, it was country back in the day. Now you got these big, huge warehouse complexes that are stretching west of the Allentown area there along 78. I mean, that type of building.
Right.
Yeah, they've got 4 built, and they're talking about going across the road, and they've built a complete electrical grid substation just to handle the electricity coming into the place to operate it. It's like, I tried to get, that was when I started with my channel, when I did the one cruise video going to the house, and totally screwed up. I started the recording, and for whatever reason the screen timed out or whatever on the tablet, and I didn't record anything. We were actually driving by, and I was talking about it and tried to get a video of it, and for whatever reason the video stopped. I don't know if it was limited time on what I was trying to record in one of the settings in the thing somewhere, or I'm not sure.
Chris, can you turn your phone sideways? Or
sideways?
Yeah, or will it just leave you sideways? Let's see if it leaves you sideways or if it's going to fix you.
How's that work?
No, now you're just sideways.
Wait a minute. Let's try that.
Oh, that's much better. That's much better right there.
Auto rotate.
Yeah, because the thing is you when you're on live, it's widescreen. So if you have your phone up and down, it's going to be you literally are like this big. Your view range.
Yeah, kind of like a letterbox, like a movie in letterbox. It's for the widescreen or whatever. You're just squished.
Exactly.
Hey, that's all right though. If it makes me look smaller than what I am in life, I can deny all those burgers I've ate over the years from the truck stops, right?
Unfortunately, I don't think that's how that works. I think that it just ended up just cutting off half of you. So you're just half a man. Because it was showing your background really well, and then like literally your arm.
Hey, it was worth a shot, right? Tell everybody we got the newest revolutionized diet plan. Just do video and pictures, but put your phone skinny. You'll look smaller than you are. It'll be no problem. You can hide your tub of popcorn on the side at the same time.
So I see that we have Jason in the chat joining us. So we're getting there. We're making it. To fill Jason in here, we attempted to use Streamlabs to run this stream, which at that point what I was going to do was, my original plan was to use Skype, because Skype I can pull the individual camera feeds from each of the people that are in here, and that would have been better. But I was trying, because most people don't have Skype, I was going to use Google Hangouts and just make one, just basically use the Streamlabs OBS to use the Google Hangouts like we have been, but I can add things that I can't do in the way that I was doing them. So the way that I was doing them, just in a quick, simple way, and Jonathan, turn your screen. I just yelled at Chris for that.
Do what?
You're not widescreen. You're skinny screen. Your auto rotate's not on either.
Happy.
There we go. Anyway, so we tried using Streamlabs, and as soon as I opened up Google Hangouts, my frame rate dropped and everything went to crap. I mean, it was really cool because I had the viewer count up in the top corner. If somebody were to subscribe during the live stream, it would it would pop up and put a notification up right in the live feed that so and so had subscribed and stuff like that, and it would have been really cool. Yeah, that poor ceiling. I think it needs to call women in crisis.
What are you saying again?
Your screen, your ceiling.
I don't care. I'm not doing the damn tripod bullshit tonight.
But anyway, so we attempted to do it earlier, and just the frame rate was dropping, and it just looked like shit. So we'll go back with the old way of doing it for this week, and I will try again next week to use the Streamlabs, and it worked well. I mean, it for all I know, it just may not work on this computer. The sad thing is this computer is running on Windows 7. Windows 7 is being phased out at the end of the year. And I mean, this computer is 10 years old. I mean, it's freaking an awesome computer for being 10 years old. I mean, to be able to keep up with computers of today, this computer had to have been a badass when it was built. But yeah, gotta move up with the time.
Like most anything, give it a year or less, and it's obsolete for what they're producing next.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, this computer is still it's holding its own for the average computer for today. This computer was nowhere near average when it came out.
Yeah.
But for today, it's still pretty average.
Oh.
And yeah, Jonathan, it is a steep learning curve. I'll tell you that. I've been sitting here playing with it for like a week now. I finally got it to the point to where it was doing something decent, and I thought I could do a test, and I was getting 30 frames per second. I was doing real good, and then I opened up Google Hangouts and it crashed. Frame rate dropped down to nothing, and yeah. So, so anybody got any good topics for today to get us talking on something other than Streamlabs? Oh, Jonathan, you have something to show today.
Huh?
You picked up some merch, I heard.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to sort through my damn clock out receipts so I can see what the hell how many hours I have right now.
Can't do that later.
Well, I just stick them in my fucking wallet, and then, yeah, they kind of clutter up a little bit.
Plenty of time to do that when you're not on live television. Just saying. Oh.
Just saying what?
I said there's plenty of time
to flow chart.
As I said, there's plenty of time to do that when you're not on live YouTube.
Well, I was getting bored listening to you.
I did say television. You're right.
Yeah, I see.
If you're watching on television, it is live television.
I see Jason's in. Is he at camp again this weekend?
I don't know where he's at. He's in Canada. I think.
He's in
Yes,
Canada.
Far East. Far East.
I don't know if he's going to pop in or not. I saw he's starting up his straight six and old car auto guy things on what is that, Thursday nights? No, Wednesday nights.
Yeah, that's garbage. That's garbage too.
I can't hear you, Jonathan.
I'm talking to myself.
Always at camp, and he gets to go fishing. Man, some guys have all the luck, huh? And enjoys adult beverage.
Speaking of, I need to go get my adult beverage. I'm adult beverage list right now.
I had a few of those Friday.
I saw. You look like you had a fucking ball on Friday.
Huh?
I said you look like you had a ball on Friday.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun.
July 11th is when you're starting your live streams again, Jason. Is that what you're saying? And July 11th is a no clue because I don't have a calendar that goes that far.
It's something. Yeah, why don't I just take these fuckers out of my damn wallet and stick them in my damn drawer?
Season 2.
Season 2 of what?
Grade 6 fan. See now, if you were actually dedicated to the show and paying attention, you would know that it's season 2 of Straight Fix Fan and Old Car Auto Guys podcast.
Yeah, that works.
My kid is in there singing in the bedroom, which is a lot better than what he was doing during the test stream. So if anybody that popped in here doing that, oh my god, my kid was letting his inner banshee out.
Oh Jesus. Oh fuck.
He was in rare form.
That's
Yes, he was. He's not normally like that. Normally what?
I want to play on the talking TV too, Dad. Come on, let me on your lap. Come on.
Well, that was earlier. Then he was good then, but when we did the second test where I went live, oh my god, he wouldn't do nothing but scream. Right now, he's just mumbling to himself in his crib. I can deal with that. It's better than screaming. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. I can. It's hilarious.
I can't hear it.
He was testing the audio portion of your live stream, which Miss Formula said wasn't working anyway. She couldn't hear nothing.
Well, then again, she said it was stopping too, so I don't know. I don't know how well her connection was. Okay, so it's Thursdays at 7. Shoot, Jason, you're gonna have to update me on the time because I forget what time it is. Not what time it is now, but what time your show is. I have to go look it up now.
Fuck.
Jonathan.
What?
You kiss your mouth with that phone.
Yes.
That made no sense. But apparently he understood what I said.
I think he's given up on his receipts.
I'm about ready to take a lighter to him.
Yeah,
8
good luck
o'clock
with
Eastern.
That. Okay, so 8 p.m. Eastern, so it runs from 8 to 8:30. And if they get a shit ton of people in, sometimes they stay till 8:45, unless that's changing this year. So do you guys like this new darker look, or should I turn the big light back on?
Oh,
I don't know if I want to turn the big light back on. All right, so still 8 to 8:30. 8 to 8:30 and to 8:45 if they got enough people to stay in for the extra 15 minutes.
you cunt. Not you.
So, anybody seen any of the news on automobile stuff this week? I think we got a lot of things to cover. We have the fact that Chevy Silverado is struggling in the sales department.
Well, no wonder. Look at it.
I know, it's ugly.
I'll be honest. If I had to pick look-wise between the Chevy
Oh my God.
and the new Fords, I'd take the
Jonathan, what is with your life today?
What?
I cannot hear you.
I don't fucking know. Maybe this phone's finally taking a shit. Hold on.
No, he's probably got those sound deadening acoustic ceiling tiles that's absorbing all his noise.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
That's better?
Except for all we're sealing is ceiling tiles again. Where'd your tripod go?
Off with the damn ceiling tiles. Here, that's all you can see. How about that? Fucker.
I mean, and I would be tempted to believe that from all the dents that are above his head. That's probably where he raised his voice with, sailor talk because he was frustrated about something, and it kind of popped with the absorption of it.
It's the ceiling. The revenge is the ceiling. Hey! Don't make me turn you off.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I can do that. Watch. Ready? Boop. You're gone. No. Maybe I can't. Hey, won't let me do that.
There was the volume control knob.
No, the thing is I can't mute. I can't turn you off. It says I cannot turn. Video mute is unavailable for mobile users. I can't turn off. You have found a loophole. I can't turn you off. I can kick you out of the conversation, I think, maybe, but I can't turn you off. Oh, no. Oh, my live streams have just become shit recently. Oh, I know who I have to get in here.
Yeah. See, Miss Formula hit it. I've been number one all day long. I collected another one. Thanks, Jonathan.
What?
I need to get a hold of Boosted.
The only interesting of automotive news I've seen was that Indy 500 pace truck thing that I shared in your group.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
The only thing interesting I saw was that the electric cars aren't proving so fuel efficient. Or not fuel efficient. Better for the environment.
See, the thing is I do believe I've been dealing with that argument, or I've been on that side of the argument since they came out. One hybrid, one of the what the fuck was the original hybrid? The stupid little freaking peon
Prius?
car. The Prius. Okay, so the if you take one Prius and you take one. I think they use the Gremlin in their comparison.
Why the fuck would you use the Gremlin?
Total emissions that a Gremlin put out, like the total environmental impact from building it all the way up until, let's say, it was running on the road for 25, 30 years, was less than the environmental impact of making one Prius.
Yeah, I think short term they're on a good idea.
Being on the earth for 30 years, the ground on the earth for 30 years had less of an impact than the Prius just being made.
Right.
Long-term recycling and disposal of the items they use in that are going to be the issue.
Right.
Well, yeah, and the thing is like, okay, you take what a Gremlin was made, the amount of plastics and foam and all of the rare earth metals that went into making a Gremlin were nowhere near. I mean, like, non-existent.
Don't forget Hubba Bubba to put it back together with.
Well, exactly. There was the Gremlin, is bare bones car. It had almost nothing in it. Yes, a Gremlin running for 25 years is possible.
Suck.
There are still a few of them out there running around.
Right.
But you know what's even more rare than a Gremlin running for 25 years? How about a Toyota Prius running for more than 10?
Yeah, good luck.
I've seen Priuses that are less than 5 years old already freaking scrapped because they're too expensive to replace the batteries.
Hey, Sean,
What?
you want me to do a merch review for you?
Sure. You need better lighting though.
Hold on. There we go. Eh. Can't
Yeah, you need better lighting. You need to add some lighting to the subject there, buddy.
Hold your tits. Gotta find the flashlight.
I'm offended by that.
Hold your whatever.
You leave my man titties alone.
Is that better?
Yeah, we can see
Okay.
that.
So here's the back. Now for the problem.
Sweet, Bandit. I love it. Huh?
I said now for the problem. This looks like shit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Other than that, it's good. This looks so faded.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either. Like, I haven't watched it yet either. This is exactly how it came.
All right. I don't know why half the white is missing.
Right?
That
It
whole
looks
outline-
kind of like fuzzy, like right in here.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't
This is the
know.
last time I buy a new product before it's tested.
Well, the thing is it shouldn't be like that.
I'd contact Teespring then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Just tell them that.
So I'm just testing out my connection. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're black.
Hey, I hear you. But we can't see
So
you.
I'm not black. I'm white.
Well, that's all I'm seeing is black.
I don't know if is it switching back and forth now again, or is it stuck on Jonathan? No, there it goes.
It's switching. I think. Yeah.
That sucks, Bandit. I have a 76 Pontiac 400 in my 79. I know a friend that had an 81 turbo car, but it wasn't a bandit edition. It was maroon. He called it the ugly TA. He had it until it was stolen off of his porch.
Wait, the car was on the porch?
Well, it's like a car part.
No. I was about to say, how the hell did the car get on the porch?
It was a concrete pad just outside of his door. It was, it was a covered concrete pad.
Okay, I got you. I was about
So,
to say, what was it, Matchbox
carport.
car?
No, it was if you Google search or YouTube search ugly Trans Am, his will pop up. It was abandoned underneath of a willow tree down in Georgia for like 25 years. Really low miles, but it was a 301. It was basically on the road for not very long, and it threw a push rod and jammed the motor all up.
Fun.
And that was the end of that car until this guy came along and found it and put it back on the road. Steve, I didn't get to see it in person. I did get to see video of it jumping, and I know that car wasn't an actual bandit car, but it still hurt watching it.
Yeah,
I have to agree. I was not but I do believe that they don't use salvageable cars. That car only looked pretty on the outside. I'm pretty sure they used like a base model Firebird, and normally one that's not something somebody's going to want to restore.
It was coated in mud and used for the jump. Mud and painted to make it look pretty.
Right. It was just made to look nice at a distance. That was basically it. From what I was told, from what I know of when they do these, especially with like the
General Lee stuff.
the General Lees and stuff, they don't use good cars. In fact, the General Lees, they're not even really using actual Dodge Chargers anymore. The one I found, they literally used a Ford Caprice, the Caprice, right? The cop car, Crown Vic, not Caprice. Caprice is Chevy. But they used a Crown Vic, and they stuck a Dodge Charger, an aftermarket Dodge Charger body on top of it. So like all the quarter panels and all of that stuff, but the core of the car was a Crown Vic.
Interesting.
Yeah, convince all the Mopar Nation of that if you pop the hood, right?
What?
Using the Crown Vic to do something like that for a truck, you know, they never pop the hood. I mean,
Well, yeah, you're not going to from sitting out in the stands. You're never going to know that it wasn't a Dodge Challenger.
Exactly.
I mean, a Dodge Charger. But you're also not insuring a Dodge Charger to do the jump. And if it gets beat up, well, then you just replace the body panels on it and you go back at it. It's a fully caged undercar. Like the chassis is fully caged, so if it'll survive the jump. But you know, and any body panels that are damaged, you just replace them and you go at it again.
Okay, it's stick, but no.
And what is
Yeah,
it? Bennett talking about? Huh?
They could have done a lot better with that jump with a little bit of ballast in the trunk to make it land a little straighter. I mean, the way you went up and started down, I was waiting for it to nose over itself.
Well, other thing is he kept on the gas, which is going to just want to freaking make the car nose. I mean, anybody who knows, anybody that plays with RC cars know that when you leave the jump, you don't stay in the gas, because if you stay in the gas, it's going
just
to want
launches it.
Yeah, it's going to want to push the nose down.
Yep.
Same with if you were into motorcycle racing, they do the same thing. You know, you play with the throttle to keep the nose up. Because if you get on the throttle, you're going to make the nose go down. If you get on the brake, you're going to make the nose come up. So it's not as prevalent with actual cars as it is with an RC or a dirt bike, because the wheels are a lot bigger in proportion to the weight of the vehicle. Let's see, we got Bandits runs the where did I see that at?
Smoking the Bandit Facebook group, something like that.
Yeah, there it is. Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am Club 13. I think I'm a member of that. Though my car is not a Bandit car.
Bullshit. That cannot go 140.
What are you talking about?
A damn bug.
Well, you're headed a flag swatter, it might.
Like the newer Volkswagen bugs.
I hate to tell you this, Jonathan. Most new cars can do $120 to $140 easy.
Yeah, but it's a bug.
So
I can vouch my little Mitzi with a 4-cylinder will do 130 and still be going away.
I don't know.
Exactly. Like a freaking Ford Escort from the '90s can do $115.
Well,
Before
Corey
the
tagged
Replica
me in a
kicks
post
in,
on
it was-
Facebook of this 5-speed bug for $800, and I'm like,
All right.
Well, that's cool. Justin found a
Justin,
Nova with a
I don't
column
know if
shifter.
I've seen your message. What did you send me a message on?
3 on a tree.
Yeah, I don't know what he sent me a message on. I don't see if I have any messages. Oh, we're talking car stuff in there. Oh, they did have concrete in the trunk. Still landed on its nose. Were you down at Cecil today, Steve? Oh, that's right. You were on the billet to be there. I really wanted to go. It just money wasn't there.
Sound like the next thing Bandit needs to do is a new fuel pump. Sound like that's the only thing he didn't replace with his car.
Yeah, either that or the fact that it's a 301 turbo car.
Corey with his glasses. Who the fuck?
Miss Marla's right. You can borrow a pressure tester. Sometimes they just want to deposit. I don't have money for new cars here, Justin. But no, I didn't get your message. I don't know what you sent it to, but I don't remember seeing it. Bandit, I had a 403 automatic. In fact, my 403 went to Chris, and I put in the 76 Pontiac 400. I want to guess he ran a 14 to a 15-second pass. See you later, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
What did I say? 14 to a 15-second pass. I had that shit spot on. Bandit, I went all the way down to Tennessee. I live up here in Pennsylvania. I went all the way down to Tennessee for my 400. Now, granted, I probably didn't have to go all the way down to Tennessee, but for the price, there was no passing that one up. What about a GT Opal? I wonder if this will do that.
Just so you know, Sean, I'll be getting off around 10.
Okay.
I would.
It didn't work. It would have worked if I had Streamlabs. If I was doing this through Streamlabs, that we could have done the thing with G, where it tells you how long you've been in the stream. Oh.
Yeah, I'm almost at the point. We got to replace an engine one of them. Yeah, I can't help that old school thought. No replacement for displacement. 455.
Well, unfortunately, there is now a replacement for displacement. It's just called efficiency.
Hey, smaller displacement can actually be fun sometimes.
Well, yeah, if you have a lighter vehicle. The problem is the heavier the vehicle you have, torque becomes a much bigger role play.
Yeah.
You know, a 120 horsepower, little scoot is great in a little light vehicle, but you put that little 100 horsepower scoot in a big vehicle, and you're not going to have very much fun.
Well, no shit.
I don't know, Steve. You're going to have to ask him.
Who?
Hammer down and ask what happened to your ceiling.
Hammer down, it's a long story.
Well, if you wouldn't put it on camera, people wouldn't ask questions. That's the great thing about YouTube is you get to show people what you want them to see. If you don't show them, they don't know. This is why Mike doesn't, that's why the people that know Mike or, know some of these people, what you see on camera is not necessarily how these people are in real life.
Right? Unlike some of us.
I'm pretty me. I'm not much different on camera, off camera.
Right?
Are you snickering over there? Girlfriend snickering.
All subject to interpretation at any given moment.
Well, yeah. I mean, just look at that whole debacle from them way back when, like when that whole falling out happened.
Yeah. Where's my tissue?
You know, they all realized really quickly that they needed to put a lid on that shit and move on because it was hurting all of them.
Wait, put a lid on what shit? The street
My
speed guitar
God.
Armageddon thing?
Yes, when Guitarmageddon's engine blew up because or not because of certain good or bad mechanic work and all of that freaking shitasco. You know, it was hurting Diablo's freaking shop. It was you have a bunch of fans that don't know much of anything, just attacking each other. You know,
Just
and
unnecessary fucking drama.
well, yes, of course, but that's why you don't bring that shit to YouTube. And you bring it
Exactly.
to
Like,
YouTube,
get the stream out of your
geez,
ass.
you could just have drama between me and Greg. You know, you look at that, and I could have dragged that out and made it nasty, but no, what's the point?
Exactly. There's no point in dragging it the fuck on.
Nope, because it's just makes a bunch
Like,
of
I'll
people.
be honest with you. Until we bring him up, I completely forget he exists. Which works for me.
Pretty much.
That was my damn tissue.
Oh, so, Jonathan, what you got going on your channel?
Well, I'll have some videos coming up soon whenever the fuck I feel like editing them.
Well, if you would stop talking into your pillow, we could hear you.
I was looking over the bed. Fuck you. I'm trying to
Well,
find the damn tissue box.
it's priorities, buddy, priorities.
But all right. Let me explain. Okay. What I said is I got a couple videos coming. One I just filmed today. One I filmed yesterday.
So you're getting out there, is what you're saying.
A little bit. So the one that I filmed yesterday was with Corey. We were trying to figure out. We were kind of doing like a test comparison because the video he watched of the exhaust he got, it didn't sound like that exhaust, even though it's the same exhaust.
Well, that's because you don't have a really good mic.
No, like it didn't sound as loud as it should be.
Again, because a mic can only pick up so much. So depending on what the range is of the mic, it's only going to be able to pick up till
It wasn't the mic. We found out what it is, but it's not in that video.
Oh.
That we will tell in a later video because we found it out the next day. But we still want to put the video up.
Gotcha.
Because we found out why it wasn't as loud. But in the video, we were kind of doing comparisons. And the video I filmed today is going to be a cinematic one of...
Oh, Jonathan, you can't read the chat, can you?
No, I can't. Why?
They're demanding your ceiling back.
They're demanding what?
They're demanding your ceiling.
No. Who's demanding it, Steve?
We got Mrs. Formula. We got Steve. All right, Bandit. I'll see you next time.
You know what? Fine. Here's the damn ceiling. Now leave me alone. There, Steve. You happy? You get the massive spot. Is that better?
Later, Bandit. See, now the next thing he needs to do, he needs to go to Walmart, get those little glow-in-the-dark, either stars or little target spots. That way he can stick them all over the ceiling for next week. You get the big enough ones, he can date them.
Fingers? How about just little fuck you fingers?
What? You had your mouth full of shit. How do you expect me to hear you?
And he hasn't even gotten into his adult beverage yet.
That poor good buddy. What'd you say?
Get the shit out of your mouth.
Well, that's better than the dick in yours.
Oh, Oh, you're real funny. Fuckhead. It's better than Greg with the dick in his ass.
Wow.
Ouch.
Well, he acts like he's constantly got something up his ass.
I don't know. I've heard he's had some shit he's dealing with recently.
Wait, what?
Now they don't want to look up your nose.
It ain't even my fucking nose. That's my fucking nose.
Oh no, I need some.
See, now we did this 2 weeks ago when he was trying to find the perfect angle for his camera holder.
I'd rather have the camera holder at this point.
Well, I don't feel like fucking with the tripod, so fuck off.
Hey, you'd be surprised what you could do with some paper clips.
And some rubber bands.
Paper clips. A paper clip is not gonna hold this goddamn phone up.
Rubber bands,
Flying, but
miniature bungee cords.
Duct tape.
Get some Gorilla Tape. It'll fix anything.
I'm gonna duct tape the both of you.
Gotta catch us first.
Oh, you're funny. I'll run your ass over.
All right, so for anyone that's joined this live stream, this isn't normally here. This is not, well, wait, I'm gonna lie. This is how we normally are. Normally we have some decent conversation going on about something that's actually important.
Usually.
But I think that the topics I saw in the news was the Chevy truck's not doing well. Chevy possibly merging with Dodge as far as their truck department.
I heard something about they were supposed to merge with Ford. I don't fucking know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I heard something that the car division was that Chevy was supposed to merge with Ford to save Ford, and that Chevy's truck was doing so bad that they were going to merge the truck divisions with Ram.
I don't fucking know.
But then there was the Tesla battery fires.
Well, that's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Don't buy Tesla. Buy gasoline.
See, now they're gonna have to
Yeah,
come up with a whole
covered the
different
topic
slogan
together.
from the one you used back in the day. If you can't dodge it, ram it.
That's probably why there's so many fucked up Rams.
But you know, and then
Too
you had
much
the
Ram,
whole,
not enough Dodge.
Fudged over rebuilt Dodge.
wow.
Found on road dead.
Is there one for Chevy?
I think we had a meme video not a meme, whatever they call acronyms.
Shove it or leave it.
Shove it or leave it.
Chevrolet.
Dodge the father ran the Dodge the father ran the daughter. Oh my god. Echoing in somebody's stream. We know there's one for Pontiac, but we can't say that one here on this channel.
Say it. I want to hear it.
No.
Say it.
No. You're not the one that gets demonetized, so you better shut the fuck up.
I ain't even monetized, so I don't give a flying fuck.
You don't, but I do.
Oh, come on, just say it.
No, because my YouTube channel literally just paid for my taxes and saved my ass this week.
Okay, fine. Message it to me then.
I would be sitting here with no money in my bank account, being like $30-some in the negative if it wasn't for YouTube this week.
All right, well then message it to me then, so I can see what the fuck it is.
If you don't know it, then you've been living in a freaking cave.
I know I'm living in a fucking cave. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow. Oh, I don't think I have anything constructive for the stream.
What?
I said I don't think I have anything constructive for this stream.
Well,
I saw it pop in here for a second or two.
Tell Steve to join.
There's a nice way of being politically correct there, Steve.
Tell Steve to join for once.
Steve isn't going to join until his mezzanine is done.
It still ain't done?
No, he's been working on the Dodge and the Camaro.
Oh. I can't keep up with everybody's shit. I'm so far behind on half of everybody. It's just like I'm about done watching shit.
No, his latest video is. I didn't see his latest video. I did see the Ram one before that, but he did something about. His latest one was something about his Camaro.
I don't know. I'm so behind on everything. I'm just like, I'll get to everybody eventually. Maybe 2 years later.
Hammerdown's got a point. He's at a point in his build where he's got to go back to squirreling away cash to be able to get to the next phase. Which I actually, not that any of you guys really care, but that cedar chest that I'm doing, I finally got the veneer in for it.
The what?
The veneer.
The hell's veneer?
So what would you say is a good limit for a week, John? As far as putting videos up on your channel, I mean, is too much, or
what?
As far as putting a new video up on your channel, what do you limit over the course of a week?
Well, the thing is there's several things you need to think about. How often can you film? So, like, if you can only film in, a couple days a week, but you need to make sure that you have enough videos that you can space them out throughout the next time that you can film. So, like, putting out like 7 to 8 videos all at once
is dumb.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's counterproductive.
Well, yeah, you want to space them out so that way somebody has something to come back to. Like me, I have a couple videos up on my computer that I still need to edit and put out, but I never have time to sit there and be able to record several videos in one day.
Right.
I technically have 3 videos that I have to edit, but the one isn't finished yet.
What would you say your average editing time is?
It depends on the fucking video.
Yeah, that depends on the video. It depends on how much I give a crap that day.
How much footage you got?
Yep, the more footage you have, the more editing time it takes to edit it.
Yep.
The more intricate the story you're trying to tell, the more editing you're going to have. Me, my average video is about 4 to 6 hours of editing time.
Do you count just editing, or do you count putting everything on the computer and putting it in the software? And...
Doing what?
I said, are you counting putting the footage on the computer, putting it in the software?
Everything.
That takes me next to no time. But yes, everything.
Yeah, lucky you.
From start to finished product. Unless you do a straight line,
you'll
be able to do that. Just let it go up as is.
Yeah, I have SS USB ports, so it doesn't take much to transfer data.
Yeah, mine can take up to, well, yeah, well.
I can upload several gigs of data in a matter of 5-10 minutes. And then, of course, it doesn't take me. It takes me a couple seconds for the Filmora to read it and import it into the software.
Yeah, mine, it depends on the video clip, how long it takes to go into the software.
Well, yeah, the longer the video clip,
yeah, the longer it'll be.
But yeah, but I upload all of my video clips at the same time, so I literally will just dump the whole file into the editing software.
If I did that, my whole computer would probably take a shit.
ever considered smoking? No. I'll drink, but no, not smoking. Nothing against anybody else
Unless
that
it's
does it, but
tires.
it's not me.
Yeah, what
Tires,
kinds
I
of
will
smoke are
smoke
we
all day.
talking about? Are we talking about the tires? Or?
All right, be right back. Give me a second.
Okay, well, I'm hopping off here. So, Chris, you can talk to yourself till he gets back.
Have yourself a good night.
I'll try to. I'm debating whether to go to bed or not.
Bed early. Shit.
Well, my body decides to wake up at 8 or 9 in the morning every fucking day, no matter whether I need to wake up or not. Sometimes it's 7 in the morning, and I'm like, why?
Random question of why I don't want to smoke.
Huh?
Because I watched my parents smoke, and I see the issues that my mom is going through now because of smoking.
All right. All right, well, I'm hopping off here, Sean.
All right, see ya.
Have fun with your whatever that is.
What I just opened up?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a Yingling, so I'll give you a guess.
Guinness.
There you
Probably.
go. Somebody knows me. Hey, Chris. The other Chris.
Long time no chat at, eh?
I know, right? More than welcome to join if you can. I'm losing one.
Yeah, and Nike says something in your regular chat group that his daughter's
Yeah.
watching TV yelling in the background. That's why he didn't come up.
Oh, okay.
Which is all right, you know. You can revert back to your duct tape comment for solving that, right?
I know, right? That'll work. Duct tape fixes everything. Why am I dedicating the Guinness to Mrs. Formula and Mr. Formula, aka Chris?
She's got some nice
You know,
punch
there's
in
a
her
problem right
refrigerator.
there.
She go
She's
pull her
playing
glass.
Fortnite.
But she's still dealing
What?
with that. She's still dealing with that pain in the ass shit that she caught right around Memorial Day. So her
Oh, what the freaking?
alcohol intake is shut off.
Oh no.
Yeah, the adult form of chickenpox. Her symptoms started around Memorial Day, and she's in the like slide out
It'd be the
stages at the end of
shingles.
it.
Yeah, that would be the shingles, and not the roofing kind.
Definitely miserable.
Yeah, actually, messaging me while I'm on live stream doesn't always work because I silence my phone. So it's not sitting here going bzz, 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 bzz all the time. So unless I see it blinking, I don't normally.
Hey, he got a rare night off.
Who? Oh yeah. No, I think
He's got a rare night off. He's usually working Sundays.
I don't think he said he works at night. I think that he works early in the morning and has to go to bed early. If I remember correctly. What time is it? Oh, it's only 10 o'clock.
You'd be all right. So you got any? I mean, I know you're limited on what you can do because of your situation. Do you have any kind of events or anything that you were kind of sort of hoping to make coming up that you're aware of?
Yeah, today. I was kind of hoping to make the one that was in Cecil County today. I mean, I was planning on it. I had a decent chunk in the bank account, and TurboTax and Filmora, or Wondershare, the parent company of Filmora, decided they wanted their cut. And wiped my bank account out. So yeah, that was a crappy situation. That was over $200. Is boom, gone.
And only.
I think it's about time I stopped driving on the road.
only thing planned, well, it was in the works, but with time off from the injury and stuff, it may change. The POCI show coming up in Gettysburg in July was going to be my next.
I don't never remember when these things are. Like I didn't even realize that the Chevy Nationals were this weekend until I saw Hammer down there, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Down in Carlisle.
Yeah, the one down in Carlisle. It would have been a good one to go see. It wouldn't have been too bad to go to yesterday. But like I said, I was already out and doing things by the time that I realized that it was going on. And by then it's too late. Not to mention, again, you got the whole money issue.
Have you made any of them shows at all, ever?
Yeah. There are a couple of them were on my YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done any of the Chevy event or the Carlisle events.
I don't know how big it was this year, but the other year that I went, it was really fucking small. There wasn't many cars there. I mean, for as big as that place is and as big as I've seen it get, it wasn't that big. But then again, it could have just been the day that I was out there or the time that I was out there.
Yeah, but, I mean, I've never made that. I've never made any of the spring show up here in Bloomsburg. The other thing I made is Autorama. I think 2 years to that. That's it.
All right. Speaking of trucks, they're talking about trucks in the chat. I got the transmission out of the Dodge. The video's not up yet, but the transmission is out of the Ram. Supposed to be going up there this week. I'm not sure. I think I have off Friday. So potentially Friday I'll be going up there to go pull the transmission apart and replace the stuff in it. The POCI, is that the Gettysburg event?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's 16th to the 21st of July.
She says it's the 18th to 20th.
The resort thing, there on the east side of town, right on 30. There's like
Gettysburg
right there,
is
basically at the intersection of 30 and 15, I think.
Yeah, well, Gettysburg is quite a haul for me. I mean, you got to think about it. It's just an hour, and it's almost 2 hours just for me to get down to Harrisburg. So you're looking at a good haul to get down to Gettysburg, and normally if I have the kids with me, that's not necessarily always a good thing. Steve, you're going to be in the AA tent for what event? The Corvette Nationals or the Dodge ones, the Mopar ones? Oh, all of the Carlisle events.
And Blaze is going to the All Truck Nationals. Whatever that is.
I need something to sponsor me a wrecked Camaro. And a welder. I think a welder and a wrecked Camaro, I'd be good for a little while. Ugh. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, that is a really cool thing, that the Nova stretch, Navi stretch, however you say it. Have you seen that yet, Chris? Chris,
it would work.
Huh?
What's that?
Have you seen the Nova stretch thing that Hammer Down has?
I haven't yet. No.
It's kind of like a bug guard. It honestly, if I have to really say what it looks like women's pantyhose. But it goes across the whole front of your car, and it's attached like with these little clips, so that way you don't ever have to actually fully take it off. But yet, like when you're at the car shows, you can quickly unclip it and tuck it away.
Okay.
And yeah, because he's saying he's the he's the product rep for those. But yeah, they're it's like having a bra that you don't have to have on all the time. Remember the bras from the 80s?
Yeah, those were paint nightmare.
They were horrible. In fact, Alan from, what is he now? Revenge of the Apocalypse. He has one for his Mustang, and I keep yelling at him about having it on his car, but yeah, he don't want to freaking listen. He says as long as you clean the paint underneath of it all the time and all this other stuff, that it won't hurt your paint. Like bullshit. Anything rubbing on your paint will wear through that clear coat eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of people complain about covers.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're going to complain about a car cover that sits still on top of your car, you can imagine what something that literally is moving around in the wind is going to do to your car that's on your car every day.
Evening, Pilot.
Well, you have to talk to Steve about that, Mrs. Formula. Did Pilot find any a new toy to play with since he got rid of his Corvette yet, or is he still looking? Oh, but no, I was browsing the wonderful tubes of Youb earlier today, and I ran across a build for I think it's a Good Guys Camaro. It was a bright yellow one, and they put the LSA motor in it from the newer Camaros.
That would be different.
Which is, well, that's exactly what I plan on doing with the Nova if I can find one. I want to put an LSA motor in the Nova. That is the
new go-to.
That is plan number one. That is the, if everything goes right, plan. Obviously, plan number two, if that doesn't go right, is to get 6.0 LS and just get a blower for that. But I don't want to turbocharge it. I want a blower on it. I did see that, Chris, the photo shoot done with the Blazer. There was some pretty good shots there. I thought he's Pilot. I thought you sold the Vet, or did you just keeping tabs on what's going on it after you got rid of it?
And he probably sold it to a friend that's keeping him informed on what they found.
Right. Chris, I've got to get to the point to where I can find a drivetrain first, because I have a feeling I'm going to pull the drivetrain that's in the Nova now out and try to sell it. Though, I mean, I didn't want to do that because right now it's still a driving chassis if I hook the engine up. But and also, I mean, I'm hesitant because if I sell the drivetrain, that means if I don't get another one, I have nothing to throw in a Nova. Right now, like I said, right now I have a drivetrain. So worst case scenario is I keep the drivetrain that I have. But that's not what I want. What's in it right now It's a 79 350 block and bottom end. They are early 80s 305 heads with 202 intakes, then just a Edelbrock carb and intake, and a built turbo 350 trans, and an 8.5 rear. Nothing wild. What, maybe 200 horsepower, if that. Nothing crazy. 11-to-1 compression. That's about as crazy as it gets.
Significant enough to make it scoot around for what the car weighed.
Oh, it boot scoots from freaking traffic light to traffic light, but it's no high end screamer. It doesn't have the room for going down the drag strip.
What about 8th mile?
Maybe, because the problem is it maxes out its RPMs around 6,000 RPMs because of the exhaust size, the exhaust port.
Yeah, 8th mile bracket racing might be probably where a good ticket would be for it if you were going to run it as such. I don't know. You see people doing all that. I don't know. I've never been able to get into the straight line.
Well, that's
good. It's a thrill. The build is great. The horsepower they make with some of the combinations they're making now is excellent, but it don't last long enough.
Well, the whole point of what I want to do with the Nova is going to be a straight line car. That's what I'm going for. That's the look I'm going for. See you later, Steve. I'm going for that late 70s.
Nice, Steve.
That late 70s, nose down, ass up, freaking dragster look.
Okay.
That really raked front end, big tire back, big back tires.
Right.
And I just
Something
know that
when you launch it, it'll lift the front wheels, but it'll look like it's going down to strip level instead of doing a full wheelie stand.
Right. I just like that look from the 70s. It's one of my favorite muscle car looks. Now, granted, back then they used to just use air shocks and just fill them all the way up.
Air shocks and drop shackles.
I have 4-inch drop shackles on it right now, with an extra leaf, and I'm sitting on 30-inch by 30 by 10-inch wide tires.
Okay.
In the back, fronts are stock 7 by 20, 24, 25-inch by 7-inch. So the fronts are basically stock width. But I want to go with my whole plan with that car is to widen the rear end. I'm going to widen the fenders just a little bit, and then I'm going to mini tub obviously the inside of the wheel wells. So I want to be able to fit a pretty wide tire underneath of that without going past the fenders. And then the front end, I want to, again, front end is going to be stock unless I could get some way to afford an aftermarket front suspension. And then, roll cage, full interior. So, I mean, I'm not going like full on drag strip, but I want that look and that feel.
Yeah, they can be pulled off relatively easily. It's just the same as any project.
The biggest hurdle I have right now is the drivetrain. And part of the reason why I want to go with that drivetrain is views, some of it. I need something that's going to get attention, and just going with the basic small block or even if I were to go to the old school big block combination, it's not going to get noticed as much as if I were to do an LSA swap.
Yeah, because everybody's done it.
Exactly. I mean, I've seen a few LSA swapped vehicles, but mostly just standard LS vehicles. So I want to go with the LSA because I feel like as far as Chevy drivetrains, that's the least done. And especially in a, an old school Nova like that. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's
but
like
then again,
Nova I sent you the pictures of there from the last car show Miss Formula attended. You know, hey, it's a good looking car. It's great. I'm sure it runs like a raped 8, but it was a big block 632 with twin turbos. It's kind of, everybody's been there, done that type of thing.
yeah, twin turbos are now almost common practice anymore because you realize that a single turbo is great. Twin turbos, you're actually going to get as much as you're going to get out of that motor.
Yeah.
So, I just don't like all of the clutter that goes along with turbos.
A lot of plumbing.
Yeah, a blower is nice and compact. It's just it's there. You might have to cut out the hood a little bit, but other than that, you don't have to put big holes in the side of the fenders and everything else.
Yeah. And you're not gonna have the lag like you did with a turbo when you punch it from the get.
Yeah, I think twin turbos have kind of stopped that lag. So I think they figured out how to get rid of the lag out of the turbos.
For the most part, yeah.
So I don't think that's really much of an issue. And really in drag racing, turbo lag doesn't matter that much.
No, because you're always up on it when you launch off the
Well,
line,
yeah,
anyways.
when you're doing drag racing with turbos, that's the whole reason they have the bump box and the trans brake and all that. Is that way they can get up on it, they can get the RPMs up before they let it out, and so that way it's already building boost by the time the green light hits. Whereas road racing, I could see where the turbos would be more of an issue.
Even with all the lightweight technology, it's still a lot of weight to add to a vehicle just to get it all plumbed and operating properly, as opposed to.
Well, when you're looking at over 1,000 horsepower, all that plumbing ain't that much.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these cars are pushing close to 2,000 horsepower, so.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, when it comes to the blowers, do you like the mounted off on the side of your engine? You know, kind of like
that's
the
a
centrifuge. Yeah, do you like that, or do you like the blower straight on top?
I'm more of a fan of a belt driven on top blower.
Okay.
I mean, personally, you get to the old school twin screw. What are they? What the fuck brand is that?
Yeah, Wyant.
Yeah, the Wyant
871 or 1071.
Yeah, with the twin carburetors sitting on top. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
those are so sweet looking, but that's a little too much out of the hood for me. Which is why I like these newer ones they have, where they have the belt that goes to the back of the blower.
Right.
And then the actual input for the blower is in the back of the blower. And it tucks down into the valley band.
Yeah, it runs off the back side of the crank.
Yeah, those are really sweet. I think the Mustangs are different though. The Mustangs are in the front, aren't they?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, the Mustangs are more of a traditional style blower, whereas the Chevy ones, they have a shaft that runs down the side of the block. Well, it runs off the front pulley, and then it has a shaft that runs down to the back side of the blower, and then it has another two pulleys with a belt that drives it from the rear of the blower. If you
Even
look at
the blower technology has come leaps and bounds over what it used to be.
yeah, you look at Guitar Mageddon's new setup, that freaking massive ass Holly that he's got now. And yeah, that's how that's set up. It's huge. It's crazy. I remember.
Yeah, tires. We don't need no stinking tires.
It's a matter of no. We need more tire. We need all of the tire we can get. I mean, he was. Though I think that you have more of a problem keeping tires under a car that's twin turbo than the blowers. Because the blowers build that boost. The blowers build the boost more consistently, and they also their torque ramp is a lot different than a blower. The blower is like being hit in the ass with a freaking sledgehammer. I mean, the twin turbos are like being hit in the ass with a sledgehammer. So it's all of the torque all of a sudden.
Yeah, Miss Formula's daily driver's got a baby blower on it, but yeah, I mean, the punch that thing off of a light from a dead stop. Yeah, it's funny you see these people, like young kids with their Mustangs or fancied up Camaros when they're like, louder than hell, and they're sitting there, she just smiles at them. You get to the next light, they pull back up, she just waves, "Hi, I won."
What did she have? One of those little Pontiac Grand Prix?
Yes. Yeah, one of the GTAs.
Yeah.
I mean, for a little V6, it's just, and it don't break loose. That's what cracks up the most. It just squats and goes.
Well, yeah. That's good suspension work there for you. And it's not a whole lot of power. It's just not a whole lot of car either.
Yeah, it's hilarious. She did that one time with her Formula. We was leaving the car, showing guy had one of those, like, I don't know what the hell you call it, like a cab over pickup truck van, whatever, like the van front end, but it was a pickup bed for like the late 60s, mid to late 60s that they were building. Yeah. This guy had the big Dodge, it was, all hyped up, and he had the badges on it, 426 Hemming, louder than hell, and he did a big smoky burnout leaving the car, so now get to a red light, and he's sitting there, he revs it up beside her, and he tells like, "No, that was interesting." The whole time I just kept looking at her. Can I ask him? Can I ask him? She's like, "No." I go, "Come on, can I ask him?" Get to the next light, and I'm like, "Can I?" She keeps telling me, "No." Well, the light turns green, and she dumped it. Yeah, it didn't spin. Flip, up through the gears, got to the speed limit, backed out of it. Guy goes blowing by us again. We get to the next light, and I'm like, I said, "I'm asking him. I can't help." I looked at him and said, "Are you sure that thing's got a Hemi in it? Because you just got beat by a stock Firebird, driven by a girl." He was such a bad. Her thing is, hey, I got to the speed limit first. No matter who got to the finish line, I got to the speed limit on the street first. So I won the race. Because she's not going to get a speeding ticket. I don't know how many times she's told me that she's done something like that. Someone blowing by her because they're gouging on it, and you get up the road another half mile to a mile, and they're sitting on the side with a cop. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but technically she can still get arrested for freaking accelerating like that, though.
Uh-huh.
What do they call that? They call that reckless driving.
Over excessive use of fueling or some. Yeah, basically it's reckless driving.
Cop is just butt hurt because his he can't show off his bald eagles.
Abusive feeling. I do remember the last one I got when I did it. I got a ticket for abusive feeling. I was over exuberant on the fuel pedal.
The fuel pedal?
Yeah, I was over exuberant on the fuel pedal. I got a ticket for abusive feeling. And I went to court with it. I told the judge, so I don't know what the officer's problem was. Is I wasn't going fast enough to be speeding. And the officer's reply to that was, "Officer, Judge, he is correct. His front tires wasn't going fast enough to be speeding. But the 140 mile an hour with the two trench strips of pavement behind him that I clocked on his rear wheels was a different story." You know, and then he's got, you know, and then he had me just like, well, can you corroborate this, officer? He said, yes, sir. I got dash cam footage. You know, well, then he pulled the dash cam footage up. He's like, yeah, cutouts are great at the drag strip, but they don't work so well on the street, as was evidenced by, you'll note by the noise in my video, he was abusive feeling, which is why he got the citation he got. Now, I said, okay, so what do we do now? The honest, well, yeah, you're lucky. It's abusive feeling. You were over exuberant with the fuel pedal. I said, it's a $50 fine misdemeanor. I said, or we could explore the speeding ticket he got off from your smoke show. Where do I pay, Your Honor?
Can I pay for a few more of these tickets right here, right now, so I can go do them again later?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I would make my payments in advance.
it's like which end of town do we got to go to? Which when they come out with these little GMRS radios that they got now that everybody uses for hunting, all those things are beautiful when you want to go play around. 'Cause you can stage a couple kids on. But I said, look, kid, as I'll give you your radio to use in $10. As you stand on this corner and if you see a cop, you yell at us and tell us which way he's going. You know, it's that. Best place where you can find an old abandoned airstrip. There ain't many, but
I just find myself a nice quiet road that nobody cares about.
yeah, or that, but that don't work down in my area because there's too many of them slow vehicles running around with them stupid triangles on the back and the blinking LED lights that say, hey, don't run over my horse.
You know that stupid freaking new country song that everybody's all freaking, that just popped into my head, and I hate you for it.
Which one's that?
Yeah, the one about taking my horse to the Old Town Road or whatever the fuck shit it is.
Okay.
You'll know it. You'll know it. You cannot get away from it. And I'm sorry, it's a sorry excuse for country, but you know what? If that's what it takes to get young people in the country again, then go for it. I don't have to like it.
Go ahead, Mr. Officer. I'm not going to drag race you to the arrow that says your lane's closed. You can have the road. For once, I won't argue that I'm bigger and have more nuts than you.
Oh. You got more nuts in your left front suspension than he's got in his whole car.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got 10 per wheel times 18, but, you know, his 5x4 with the badge and the little pea shooter he's got behind it, kind of, you know, he could leave me stranded in a hurry if he was so minded.
Wait. Your wife downshifted her mom? Oh, okay, never mind. You got to read on to the next comment. The English language is everything. Don't include the whole sentence. It can be taken a certain way. Yeah. Oh my God, Chris, no. I can't take no more. Don't put it in my chat. That song is banned from my freaking chat. Just saying.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That song is horrible. It is. I mean, I know there's people that like it, but it's because it's so poppy, and that's also probably why I don't like it. Yeah. Huh? What song? You can't play it because it'll demonetize my video.
I'm asking you which song.
What is it called? Take My Horse to Old Town Road, probably. It's horrible. You better hope you're quiet enough that this YouTube don't pick you up. She's now back there singing it quiet enough that I can hear it.
She loves you?
That's debatable.
That's where you can turn around, but you can't serenade back to her. What's love got to do with it?
No, I can't because I'm too close to the speaker.
Exactly.
Oh, I miss having more people in here. It's just so quiet. 5:30 in the morning on a Monday, going to work. 47. Oh, that's nothing. You've been lucky if I'm not doing 60 in a 40 every day on my way to work.
Yeah, my
I
last
just know
speaking
where all the
episode
conflict
was not fun.
What?
We'll just say that we changed the jets and the carburetor, and we were testing them out before we went to the track.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm just where is it? It's you know the B is for Build channel.
Not familiar with that one or not.
That's a good one. But anyway, he there's a law in his area to where your car does not have to be registered to be on the road if you're testing a race car.
Oh, well, I need to move there then.
Legit, they have loopholes in the thing for testing a race car. That is fucking awesome.
That's what nailed me in the ass. I don't
Testing
know
a
what he
race
was
car?
more upset. Yeah. I don't know if he was upset with the 140 mile an hour speeding ticket, no plates, registration, insurance, or the open exhaust, or the fact that he wore his coffee when I went by him that he had just got from the donut shop.
That's his problem. He should have bought a coffee cup with a lid on it.
Yeah, he should have bought a spill-proof cup. I mean, come on. What's he thinking?
Well, the other day when I did, it's been a year now. It's been a year. When I did the burnout video with the Trans Am last 4th of July, no exhaust on it, invalid plates, no current registration, excessive use of the accelerator pedal. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that there was basically no body bushings on it. The freaking exhaust was rubbing on the floor. The steering was freaking rubbing on the headers. Yeah. And obviously, as we found out later, there was nothing left of the front driver's side corner of the car because it was all rotted out. I think it was safe to drive on the road.
You can go out and do something and not give a crap.
As long as nobody else
go through life with whatever and not have a problem. But when you go out deliberately doing something that you know you can get nabbed for, that's when you see most of them running around, or you do get popped.
I have not had that issue.
Well, lucky you then. I mean, I remember back when I was young and dumb. Oh wait, did I grow up yet? Hell no.
No.
Back when my first Nova that I drove was a 69 Nova. I swapped this old 65 Buick Skylark for it, even swapped. And the Buick didn't have an engine transmission. I drove that thing for damn near 6 months straight. It was invalid everything. No inspection. Had a license plate for an old Dodge station wagon. Had insurance on it. I had an insurance card in the car, but it wasn't registered. Never did a title. I just asked the kid come up and say, "Hey, do you want to swap?" And I'm like, "A running Nova for this beat up, rusted old Skylark I got? Well, hell yeah!" Yeah, I didn't worry about all that important shit. The station wagon was wrecked, so it still had a valid plate. I swapped the plate on, and now I drove the car.
Yeah, I don't
Never had an issue with it.
I've only gotten a very few amount of speeding tickets, and I have never gotten a speeding ticket in one of my fun cars. I've gotten them in my ex's grandparents' station wagon, Subaru station wagon. I got one in the Kia for following. I was literally the last car in a line, and I was just following the car in front of me and got nabbed for speeding.
All right. Speaking of speeding, what is the most inventive line, excuse, reason, whatever? What is the most inventive line that you ever used that got you out of a speeding ticket?
Wait, say that again?
The most inventive, so something you told, like the cop come up and said, yeah, I pulled you over for speeding, yes, and whatever, and you popped something out of your mouth and the cop let you go, didn't give you a ticket.
Jess says her speedometer was broken, but that was a true thing. I don't think I've ever literally gotten away. I've gotten dropped down to just failure to adhere to traffic control devices, but I don't think a cop has ever just let me go after they caught me.
I got out of one. Was in my first, I had a 77 Formula, Firebird Formula, with the 400 automatic. I mean, beat up a rust bucket, hey, a run. It was a bird. And I got popped coming out of town one time. And the cop said, you were speeding? I said, yep. You admit you're speeding? Yep. Why were you speeding? Officer, I'm going to tell you straight up. I went to the barbecue chicken cookout that you all had last night to benefit your organization, and I'm trying to outrun the barbecue beans I ate last night today. He lost, honest to God. He lost on the spot. When he quit laughing, he said, you know what, son? I know you're only a few miles from home. Slow it down. On the side note, yeah, they were pretty shitty beans, weren't they? We're not getting those catered anymore. They were horrible. They tasted sort of okay going down, but man, the after effects, the after effects lasted a week. I crap you not. Even after you thought you had yourself cleaned out, you were still pissed. I told the guys, you need to go to everybody and have them come back in like a blood donor drive. Come in and stick a tube in their ass and bottle that stuff so you can sell the meth thing somewhere. Sell it to NASA for launching the shuttle or something, I'm sure.
Oh my God.
They were wicked. Very wicked.
I have to. There is one story I have where I got away with a lot more than I should have been nabbed. I was working in Philadelphia and I was living in Reading, and I hated that drive. But I was driving a Ford Escort at the time. It was a '95. So I had the little 1.9 liter.
Single plug or dual plug head?
Single, I think. I don't know. It's a 1.9 liter, which was the biggest engine they had in that car for that year. It was the last year for that body style. So I was coming home and I was annoyed because there was this, I think it was a Honda Civic, was riding my ass. I mean, he was, I would pass him, he would crawl up my ass, I'd let him go by me, and we just played leapfrog for a while at 422, and eventually I got tired of it. We were approaching Exeter, and I floored it. And the thing only goes 115 before the governor kicks in and kills the engine until you drop back down below, I think, like 90. So I kept it at right at 110. So I go flying underneath this overpass, doing a $110, and as soon as my lights clear the edge of the bridge and hit that spot just on the other side of the bridge, that whole hill lights up like a damn freaking Christmas tree, because it was a blacked out cop car with those holographic graphics on the side. So as soon as my headlights hit the side of that freaking cop car, obviously all those holographic graphics lit up. And because he was sitting on that hill, lights out. No running lights, no nothing. He was lights out. And so, like I said, the only thing that I knew he was there was my lights hitting the side of his car and lighting up all of his graphics. I immediately dropped it down a gear. Now, this was an automatic, so you had drive, and then you had 3, 2, and 1.
Right.
So I dropped it down in the third, dropped it down in the freaking second, never touched the brakes. Because that's one thing my mom taught me when I was growing up. If you're speeding and you pass a cop, don't hit your brakes.
Yep.
Because even if the cop is going to miss you, you touch them brakes, he's going to know you're there. So your best bet is to literally just try to slow down without hitting the brakes. So I dropped it down in the third, dropped it down in the second. I get a good bit down the road, and I see the lights light up on top of the cop car. I'm like, I knew it. Like, you just know he's coming for you. He ain't coming for the car that was behind you. He's coming for you. He pulls me over, and the cop goes, "You know what I'm getting you for?" I'm like, "No, officer, I don't. I'm sorry." And he goes, "Well, you were speeding." And he hands me the ticket. And he by the time he got his radar on my car, he got me going 77 miles an hour. I passed him doing 110. And he didn't give me a ticket for speeding. He gave me a ticket for failure to follow traffic control devices.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes depending where you're at, you'll find one's in a good mood. I've usually found that the outcome of any citation you may or may not receive is directly proportional to how bad the guy he pulled over before you pissed him off.
well, there's two things. There's factors. There's what is the mood of the cop that's pulling you over, and your attitude towards the cop when he pulls you over.
Yep. I had that nice experience on this trip actually.
Oh, you get pulled over already?
I didn't get. I got a warning on my inspection, but I just loaded. I mean, I was full of fuel. I loaded my load in this little town. I was probably within 40 miles of the Canadian border up in north central Washington, if not closer than that. I looked at the map, so I could go 100 miles south, wiggling through these little mountain roads to get back to the interstate. Or I could go north 5 miles and cut due east on these other skinny roads that run the top of the mountains once you're on top of the ridge. And they snake their way out through a valley and then drop you onto the interstate like 100 miles east of where I was sitting, almost into Spokane. So I went that way. Come up through, grabbed a couple gears, watched this guy, went by the other way, had a nice fishing boat, cut the corner, grabbed the gear, taken off, and looked to my right, and there's a way station, wide open. I kept going. Too late to stop. I didn't get a quarter mile up the road. The bubble gum's behind me, and his first thing was, "Why didn't you stop at the scale?"
Because I didn't know it was there.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I wasn't aware you had a scale there, and y'all didn't flag me in. He's like, "What do you mean we didn't flag you in?" I says, "Well, I got that stupid box on the windshield." I says, "I've never had it. I've never worked anywhere had this before." And the guy told me that if that box lights up a red light and the station's open, we got to go in. If the way station open and we don't get a red light on that box, we don't have to stop. That's not right. And he's like, "No, that's not right." I'm like, shit. I figured he was getting. I mean, there was a big wide spot. It's like a big wide area off the side of the road, and then there was a side road that went up on the other side. I thought for sure he was going to make me turn around and go back, which they have done before. But he didn't. He says, "I'll be right back. All the license registration comes up." Says, as I did a quick paperwork inspection, I give you a warning about not stopping at the scale. But I'm going to tell you right now, that box most generally is only going to work on the interstate. If you're up in an area like this in this state, that box won't work for you. I suggest next time you stop. Well, yes, sir. Have a good day, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you or anything like that. Yeah, because if I'd have turned around and went back, I wouldn't have went anywhere because I was so far overweight because I was full of fuel and I knew putting that many apples on I was going to be overweight anyways. But I always fill up with fuel before I load so that I can get 1,000 miles out to my next fuel stop past most of the scales I'd have to worry about. Right. Yeah, he wasn't happy. I mean, he didn't even walk all the way up. I kicked the door open. I actually lean out of the truck and look around the exhaust stack. Because he come up, he stops back behind, by my back wheels with his hand on his hip. Yeah, he didn't even come all the way up to the door. Yeah, he didn't know what was going on. I should have looked in the other side. There might have been his buddy on the other side of the truck when I looked in the mirror, but I didn't look that way.
All right.
Yeah, what do you when in doubt, act dumb. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Well, you act dumb and you act polite.
Yeah, you know, so key point. I got a warning. I didn't get no citation. I didn't get the boss no citation for being overweight. And I didn't get put out of service on the spot and have to call the company and say, y'all need to find another truck to come up here with a forklift because we need to take some of this off the truck before I can leave.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is you gotta, you know, don't piss the cop off. If you can make him laugh, make him laugh. And be respectful. You know, because obviously if he pulled you over there, he pulled you over for a reason. You know, you don't need to be a tall car auto guy and be a fucking ass and end up getting your freaking ass arrested.
Yeah, you gotta laugh at some of the stuff on YouTube you see in regards to that. The videos they got, like some of the, I can't remember the channels. I found a couple I watched.
You know, where they're being resistive, acting like assholes, and they wonder why they get fucking turned around.
Look, the cop didn't ask you how the weather was today. He said get on the ground. Which, you know, hey, God bless them. They got a tough job to do. More power to them and all that.
Yeah, and the thing is the more attitude you give them, the more likely they're going to think you're going to do something stupid.
Or hide something. I mean, I watched one this week, in fact. They had a gentleman that, he was on a city bus. Went in the back of the bus, used the restroom, came back up in front of the bus, and don't know where he was going. But basically, he run the bus all the way to, you probably know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm laughing at your better half.
Oh, I'm sure she's, hey, you know what? I got to thinking on the last story I said about getting out of some of them tickets at. I noticed it in my other video that I'm looking where she's at. She actually left her computer, so she didn't hear what I said. So I ain't got to worry about being cut off of any fringe benefits or privileges when I come home, want to take the car out to the car store or something. Because she missed it. But this guy passed out.
Now she's going to go back up and go, look, you can rewind my my live stream by 4 hours.
Gee, buddy, thanks. You had to remind her that, didn't you? What a pal. I'm getting that evil eye look now, you know? But anyways, just to make a long story short, they had the medics, the fire department out. They're trying to route. I mean, the one cop's actually slapping this guy across the face. Hey, dude, you know, hey, wake up. The guy's not responding. The medics give him a shot of NorCal, whatever it was, the narcotic antidote, whatever you want to call it. Basically, give you a shot, and any narcotics you're overdosing on, this stuff revives you and counteracts the drugs. You know, and like 10 seconds later, the guy pops out of it. All right, see you, Chris.
All right, see you, Chris.
So they get the guy off the bus.
Hey, Miss Formula just said that she's got her headset on. She can hear you whether she's not at the laptop or not.
Goddamn technology. Yeah, right.
Well, she
knows I'm driving.
She's going to remember now.
Yeah. And she knows I'm driving tonight, so she knows I can't blame it on a beer. But long story short, they get this guy off the bus. They got him on a stretcher. They want him to go to the hospital and get checked out because they don't know what's going on. The cops calling his supervisor. You know, they give this guy the shot, and he come out of it. He went and took. How do we approach this? And they wanted to pat him down. He wouldn't let him pat him down. He kept backing up. Well, another cop noticed he's got this bulge in his right side in his pocket of his pants. You know, hey, what's that? What's your phone? We'll pull your phone out. And the guy, well, I don't want to pull my phone out. It broke. It might fall apart in pieces now. 4 steps and pull out of his pocket and throws down on everybody. It's like,
wait, go back and say that again.
Yeah, why?
You broke up. Go do it again. We missed the end of your story. You broke up.
So it's like you said, if the cop tells you to do something, do it. Quit arguing with them. His job is, and most times, basically they're sponges.
Yeah, Chris.
Because generally, the dumb, bad crap has already happened.
Chris, go back to him not wanting to pull the cell phone out of his pocket. We missed the end of that.
Oh, well, the guy sitting there, he wouldn't let the cops pat him down. He had a bulge in his pocket. He said it was his phone, but he wouldn't pull the phone out to show him because his excuse was it was in pieces. Well, the one cop went to grab a hold of him to check his pocket, and he backed up 3 steps, and he pulled a 380 out of his pocket, and he threw down on everybody and just started flinging lead.
Oh, well, yeah.
He had a gun in his pocket.
You wonder why cops are freaking, very cautious about you freaking listening to their commands because of shit like that.
Exactly.
At the end of the line, they want to go home at the end of the night.
And
regardless of whatever
sadly,
stupid shit you did, they still want to be able to go home at the end of the night. It wasn't their fault.
That's it.
Did stupid shit.
And tough as their job is, and the bullshit they put up with, and in instances like that, for the most part, sadly, cops are basically sponges. Because when you need one, usually something bad has already happened before they get there, and they pick up the pieces the best they can and try to set stuff straight.
Violet, that's not necessarily true. Some people have gotten shot for complaining. You get an over-trigger happy cop. I mean, I'm not saying cops are perfect. I'm not saying all cops are bad, but mistakes have been made. But you have a less likely chance of getting shot if you comply than being a dickhead.
That's it.
I have seen plenty of cases where cops have made a bad judgment call.
The sad part about giving a cop an attitude, you're gonna get a bigger one back because he can call more buddies in on his radio than what you can call on your phone to get stuff going on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's like everybody.
The story is and from what I've always been told is you comply. Anything you feel like you've been violated with, you can fight it later.
Exactly.
You can't fight it later if you can't fight it later if you're not there to fight it. So, go comply, do what you need to do. Okay, your car gets impounded, you go to freaking jail. Big whoop-de-doo. You can fight it in court later. But what's up?
I need my charger.
Oh, what charger? Oh, this one.
My laptop charger. Which other charger?
Yeah, I had an instance in Virginia several years ago. I mean, there was like a foot of snow on the road, just storming bad.
What?
Actually got rear-ended by another truck.
The entire computer space.
And
I'm getting yelled at.
busted the straps loose. I mean, the load was broke loose on the trailer. The guy hit me so hard. I'd run in an ice storm the day before that coming out of the south. And probably 4 truck lengths behind us was where I was parked where the guy shoved us. And, the cop come up, got all your information, sit in his car here, fill this out for me. He grabs another book, starts filling. I'm like, what's that for? I said, well, this is your citation for failure to maintain control and following too close. I just threw the other clipboard up on the dash. Like, I need you to fill that out. It's not anymore. He's like, well, what do you mean not anymore? I says, officer, I respect your position. You're out here doing a crappy job on a shitty day. But the minute you touch your pen to that paper to try to write me a citation, I'm punching you in the mouth. And then I'm going to get in your back seat. Because as far as I know, it's still illegal to punch a cop in the mouth. But my day will be solved. He says, well, what do you mean by that? I says, I don't know if I can drive that truck. My bumper where I got shoved into the truck in front of me shoved into the steer tires. So I don't know what shape the tire's in. The whole load is broke loose. I don't know if I can tie it back down. So if I punch you in the mouth because you want to give me a ticket when I was at a dead stop, I'm going to have a warm place to sleep tonight. I'm going to have a pillow and a blanket. I'm going to get fed at no cost to me. And it's going to be your responsibility to figure out how to get that truck off the road and out of here in the middle of this snowstorm that I frankly don't want to deal with. And he says, you're dead serious, ain't you? Yes, sir, I am. I said, you look at that ice pile back. I run an ice yesterday. I had 8 inches of ice collected on the whole truck and the trailer underneath. That pile back there come off my truck. That's where I was parked when he hit me. Follow my truck tracks on the side of the road back to where I was parked. You can see where he shoved me. And he's like, well, if you're lying to me, I have your addresses. I ain't got nothing to hide. Go ask everybody in front of me what we were doing. There's those 4 cars up, way up there that caused the whole wreck, why everybody was stopped. This guy was just hauling.
So you were sitting there and you got railed in the ass, and he was trying to write you up for a moving violation when you weren't moving.
Exactly. That I was following too close, and what the heck was the other one? Something with the inclement weather. Following too close and too fast for conditions, because there was a foot of snow on the road. It wasn't plowed. It was a blinding snowstorm. And the whole problem, his biggest reason for being upset.
The whole story that you guys were sitting there parked when you got hit?
Yeah. Hey, he didn't even look. He was sitting in his warm car because he got called out of his house. It was his day off, but he lived a mile and a half away from the accident. And they called him home to come out and do the report. He
didn't listen to the whole story where you guys literally said you got hit while being parked.
Didn't listen to it at all. And the first guy he talked to was the guy that hit all of us. He started with him, come up to my car. When that guy got done, knock on that guy in front of you, tell him to come up to my car. He never got out of his patrol car. Other than that, when he first got there, got out, is anybody hurt? And he come down the lines. I need your license, registration, insurance. When you get a knock on the door, come up to the cruiser. And he got in his car and started doing paperwork. Never looked at nothing else. Nobody was hurt where we were at.
Wow.
And he's like, got down, he hands my stuff back. I says, remember, but seriously, you would have punched me? I said, sir, yes, I'm dead serious. If you just started to write me, it says, maybe your license means nothing to you, but every point on my license is a hassle. Number one, I've got to come back to court to fight it, so it's not on there. Number two, it can take my job away from me because I need my license to drive. If you'd have wrote me a ticket, I said, you're lucky that guy behind me is not dead, because I wanted to get on my truck and go wheel his ass and bounce his face off on the side of his trailer.
That's ridiculous.
Because he was an idiot. He was driving. The guy driving, look how far he shoved me. He shoved me 150 feet from where I was parked. I said, you don't believe me? Look at my truck. The brakes are so set. Why do you think my truck got sideways? The parking brakes were set. When he hit me, he jackknifed me.
Wow.
Go look at the ice in the road where he hit us. How it's scattered. Ask all them people on the other side in the right lane what they thought. But yeah, he couldn't believe that I'd actually said I'm going to punch you in the mouth and get in the back seat. He said, "You seriously went to jail tonight."
Was it you that shared that video to me over the winter about the freaking trucks coming down the freaking hill and the ice pass? And there was somebody on the radio trying to tell them to slow down, and the people didn't have a radio because everybody had cell phones. Whatever, and I think it was a Walmart truck that went freaking a Walmart or Amazon truck that got freaking creamed.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, that was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had a video like that I did share with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy anymore. I don't know if it's.
Why would
they've tried for years to outlaw CBs in trucks because of the so-called hands-free thing, like they push for phones now.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to like the phone is going to be able to pick up messages from local drivers around you to warn you about shit. Yeah, that cell phone will be great with getting in contact with your management back down at home base, but it's not going to help you around where you're at. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you can use Waze and Google Maps and things like that, but again, that's still not going to tell you the information.
And that's only subject to how well your data service for that app or whatever to work at the time you're trying to get it. Yeah, I don't know why a lot of these people don't run radios anymore. You know, you can blow a tire or break an airline or anything on a trail. I mean, I run up into the Northeast here, not so long ago, just doing a local load, and there was a guy blowing sparks out from underneath he had a low boy, you know, for hauling equipment. And he was blowing sparks out the center of his trailer, out the back of his wagon after dark. And I pulled up beside the guy, didn't have a radio at all. So I was, well, you know, hey, I tried to do what I could. I get to the next truck stop because I had to fuel up. And did fate, karma, whatever you call it.
I could have told you about it.
Yeah, this guy pulls in. I told him, you need to go look at the back of your wagon. You got a problem. You've been blowing sparks for the last hour. And he went and looked. Well, sure enough, his brake chamber had busted and was dragging on the road underneath his trailer by the airlines. The axle, his airlines had wrapped around his axle, and it was letting the brake chamber bounce up and down. That's what was causing the sparks. You know, standing there talking. These other two guys come up and says, well, you know, I was talking to him, explaining what was going on, and I crap you not. The first thing they did was look at me and say, well, what kind of an asshole driver are you that you didn't call the cops and report him so they could have pulled him over? Hello?
Well, if you had a radio, I could have fucking told you, and you could have fucking pulled over your damn self without having to get the cops involved.
Yeah, exactly. You know, why do you want to cause a driver know the problem having the cops out here and go through a full-blown inspection? You know, and this is like, you know, there wasn't any cars on the road. This was like, you know, between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. It was basically only trucks.
But still, you know, if you had a fucking radio, you could have told them a fucking, you know, an hour.
For you to run a radio, or if the other idiots around me that saw the same thing were running a radio, we could have boxed the guy in, slowed him down, and stopped him to say, hey, we don't mean to be an ass. We're not trying to hijack anything, but you got a problem back there that, you know, we're trying to save you some grief to let you know about it before a cop does see you and pull you over, and then you're going to be sitting on the side of the road getting a service truck out here. If it's something that you could take care of. I mean, we didn't know what it was. It could have been just something as simple as a chain that fell down to the center of his trailer dragging from the equipment he had tied on. That's what it is. I mean, you look at the winter, like the past, say, 3-4 winters, the big accidents you've seen on Facebook, and, you know, I don't know where, I mean, I'm sure they probably hit every social platform and YouTube.
The thing is, how many of them could have been avoided if, you know,
if they'd have had a radio?
And would have been able to get a warning that there was an issue up ahead and the slow down ahead of time.
Yeah, most of them. I watched a video on Facebook this year. The guy had a live video, was doing a live feed on Facebook of an accident as it was going on. And they're in a semi, in the accident. And these cars and other trucks come flying up the side of them and running into cars beside him, you know. And he keeps leaning out, holding his phone out the thing, watching all these guys like, okay, why aren't you on the radio? Yeah, yell back at these people. Tell the other side of the road, hey, tell everybody come this way. The road's blocked. It's shut down because of an accident. But, yeah, back, 10 years ago, you'd have never saw them wrecks with trucks involved because everybody had a radio. You'd have known about that wreck 10 to 15 miles before you even got there. Hey, the road's closed. There's a bad wreck. You need to get off this exit and go around it.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not today.
It is because everybody thinks that technology is so great, they forget the benefits of the older stuff. I mean, think about it. They got everybody wanting to. Let's take the whole Hollywood Video, Redbox, Netflix thing. Okay, yeah. Netflix is great, right? But now it's not because they know that they're the only game in town. Even Redbox really isn't much. I mean, it's around still, but I mean, Redbox is nowhere near as popular as it was a couple of years ago. And when you want to watch that obscure movie or that movie you just have this itch to watch, you can't find it because it's not popular.
Yeah.
And
to me,
so
Redbox was a replacement basically for Blockbuster.
Well, yeah. What happened was this is how it went. The red boxes came first, wiped out all of the video rentals because you can have them all over the freaking place. You know, what's more convenient, paying $1 at a red box or paying $3 or $4 at a Blockbuster that you have to drive to? When most of the time the red box, you could walk down to your next corner and you could go get one. You know, and then you had Netflix after that, and Netflix has kind of killed the red box. Well, now you're stuck with even worse selection. You know, and that's the thing. It is technology hasn't necessarily gotten better; it's just gotten lazier. You know, it's not necessarily that the technology advancements have made things better; it just allowed people to be more lazy,
Yeah,
and
for the
has
most
allowed
part.
people to, and in the increase of ease of being able to use the technology, you have lost the versatility of the act that you were using the technology for. You
Yeah, it's
know,
like Miss
like
Formula. She set me up with her was it audio book. I mean, it's audio. I don't remember which app it is, audiobooks or something. But somebody put an aftermarket stereo in this truck that has Bluetooth capability. You know, this fandangled technology to me. It's like, you know, I'm lucky to get my Bluetooth headset set up for the phone to work. Well, she figured out that my new tablet also has Bluetooth capability, so she set it up to run through the stereo in the truck and then put her audiobook app in it. So if I get bored with the satellite radio and just want to listen to a book sometime, I can play a book through the tablet from her app, but play it through the stereo in the truck.
right. That's if you can find the book that you want on the audio app.
Exactly. That's like I need to worry about. She's only got probably 1,000 book titles that she already has downloaded that she's bought on her own. So
Right.
she'll down. I don't know what that looks. She gave me some little thing that I can actually plug into the radio memory stick like thing too that she put a bunch of books on. Yeah, so listen to them and take it home. Says here it needs redone again. She'll move them and put more on. I was like, I told her one time, you know, by the time I get through your book library, I'll probably be old and retired.
Pilot's just sitting here making sure that we know that he's here. Yeah, I still see you. I was actually just wondering if there's anyone on besides just us. But I know I'm down to only like 4 viewers, which would probably be me, you, Chris, Miss Formula, and probably Pilot. Thinking that would be the only 4 viewers that are on right now. And it is getting late and I have work tomorrow, so I might be concluding this. What I need to remember is I need to remember to schedule this live stream a lot earlier in the week so people know that I'm going to be here. I think that's been my problem is I'm not
missing last week. Didn't help you.
No, it didn't. But you know, I wasn't getting on last week.
Hey, you got a good reason to be out. You need a break every now and then yourself.
Well, yeah. I'm reading a what is it? Kim Harrison. Kim Harrison, I think, is the name of the author that I'm reading right now. But all right. If you guys haven't checked out my Teespring, go check it out. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already, and catch you next time.
All right. Hey, appreciate you having us up and on again and the invite. Everybody have a great night. And we're starting out, like I said, Firebird Nation on a YouTube channel, International Car Club. You don't have to own one, as long as you have a passion. And it's like I told Miss Formula, it's about like anything. You know, in my case, you know, your passion drives you. The bird will set you free.
There you go. All right. Until next time.
And we will see everybody next week.